Hi, I'm Catherine, and welcome to my new video series, which I'm calling Lean Meets AI. So I'm planning to release a short weekly video on LinkedIn and on my YouTube channel around the AI tools and techniques that I'm using every week in my work as a lean business and leadership coach. Really, I suppose I'm challenging myself here because I feel like I don't use AI enough. So I'm challenging myself to find more ways to use it and then obviously share that learning with you guys. So the first thing we're going to look at is how to use AI in creating SOPs, so standard operating procedures, with your team. Now, I'm going to skip the whole part where we try and identify what those SOPs are and prioritize them and all that. That's done way in advance. I'm going to start from the point where we're ready to actually create our SOP with our team. So first thing I do when I'm on site with clients is I will look at what's happening that day, look at the processes that are happening and understand the people who are working on that process. And I will reach out to those people or go through the supervisor to reach out to those people. And I will say, hi guys, is it okay if I meet you for 10 or 15 minutes today to talk through the process that you are currently working on? And I'll get their permission to meet with them, and then I'll show up, and then I will ask for their permission to video our conversation and make sure that they're okay with that. So we'll start into it. I will go around whoever's working on that process, and I will ask them questions about the steps involved in it. And I'll get a little bit more detail around why they do things that way, and why it's important and what to look out for, the risks and little things like that that usually go into an SOP. The whole conversation takes about 10 minutes, especially if it's a small, uncomplicated process. The bigger ones will take a bit of time, but I start with the smaller ones, and I think it's where a good place for you to start as well if you're not used to doing things this way. So I will have a whiteboard behind me, and I will document the steps involved in the process as we go. And I'll get to the end of the conversation and I'll do a little recap, and we'll make sure that, we've gone back and forth with people enough to make sure we've heard everybody's voice and we really understand the steps that are involved in doing this process and why it's done this way. And I will also ask, have you got any ideas for improving the way that this process is done? Because that's actually moving from creating SOPs into improvement work, which I think is really important. So yeah, I will record it all, I will summarize it, and I'll end the video. Normally at that point, what would happen in the past is I would have to go off and I would have to create that SOP. I'd have to probably write it up and spend time doing that. Nowadays, I don't do that. I actually use Microsoft Teams to video, like I would in a meeting, to video my SOP conversations. So I will take the transcript that Microsoft Teams gives me, and you have to be really careful to press record and transcribe when you're starting your video to make sure you get the transcript. I will press that. I will go back into chat afterwards, and I will pull up the transcript, and I will download it, and then I will copy and paste that into Microsoft Copilot, and I will ask Microsoft Copilot to write the SOP for me, and it does it. And all that can be done in a matter of minutes. Of course, you need to go back and you need to look over it, you need to refine it, you need to bring it back to the team, go through the supervisors and all of that. But really, it takes all the writing and the follow-up admin that's usually involved in creating an SOP, takes all that stuff out of it. So that's what's really helped me this week. I've done it numerous times, find it really, really useful. And I teach it then to, people who are leading the teams in the workplaces I work with, and they love it too. And it's taken admin time away from them too. So hope you enjoy that tip, and join me next week for another short video on Lean Meets AI.